Hey, yo. Check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage Yambatosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
Boom.
Boom.
Welcome to the SwordCast.
Welcome to your doom. That was what? Altered Beast. That game was so hard.
Man, hard.
Oh my
sweet,
goodness.
but hard as fuck.
Sweet, but very hard.
God damn it.
Hey, man.
Episode 74, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So how
Not even gonna try. I don't have nothing.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I don't have any. I mean, I'm sure I do, but
Yeah.
offensive lineman, NFL. Hey, man. Go ahead.
Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah.
Boom.
Hey, man. The Warriors finally got a good win. They beat the Jazz.
Nice.
That's a big dub, man. I sent you that meme, and it's like, and it was a picture of this kid, and he's just kind of like, and the meme's like Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre just be out there like, I kind of don't care a little bit. And sometimes that's what it seems like. Do you see stuff blow up on everybody on the side?
I did. I didn't see it, but I remember you said something about it.
It's just that's what it seems like, man. They're playing like these important games, and they're like close.
Yeah.
And these dudes just be kind of, I don't care. I'm just gonna
Kind of good.
for real though. They just taking some super questionable shots, man. Not playing defense, like it's looking like they don't care. But they did get a win. I'm just hoping that they are active at the trade deadline, man.
There's no doubt.
Wiggins was lights out yesterday, but you
Yeah.
never know which one you're gonna get. Sometimes he's having a good season, but you never know which one's gonna show up. The one that cares or the one that doesn't care. And Kelly Oubre is just throw up a deck of cards and just
What's it gonna be?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, man. What are you into currently?
I've been playing the shit out of the Yakuza games. I finally beat Yakuza 0, and it was dope. Look, man, I know a lot of people think Yakuza 0 is better than the remake of Yakuza 1, but I thought Yakuza 0, I almost gave up on that game twice because it was crazy slow in the beginning. I'm fine with movies being slow in the beginning and building up, but if it's a video game, you got to catch my attention quick, man.
Right.
And it just, yeah. So far, I'm only about maybe 20 hours into Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remake of Yakuza 1. And it's like, it's immediately 10 times better, in my opinion. The story is like, all right, nigga, we in the shit now, immediately.
Right.
Off top, murder, right? Like, off top, like, my man Kiryu got out of jail. He served a 10-year, you know what I'm saying, sentence in the clink. They got out on some Yakuza shit, and immediately found himself right back in the shit. Immediately, like day one, a nigga got murdered.
Oh man,
that actually happened. Well, minor spoiler. That's why he went to jail, is because there was a murder. I'm not gonna say what happened with the murder. And then as soon as he came back, that nigga ran up into a funeral and just started busting heads. Like the first week he was back on the streets. So like the action is way less slow. The fighting, in my opinion, is better. It's a much better game in my opinion. I know that's going to be a hot take for a lot of Yakuza purists. That game has a really big following. I mean, it's similar to how like Shenmue has like a cult following. Yakuza has a similar type of following, and I'm sure I don't know. I don't fucking care. If what I'm saying is not what the normal people think in the Yakuza community, then I don't know what to tell you. I like it better so far, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's what I've been into. I think now I'm ready to try to play most of these games. There's 6 of them, so we'll see how far I get. But I'm gonna definitely go through the first 3. Boom. See how it goes from there. What about you?
Oh man, I have been. Why I started watching Pokemon Journeys. You were telling me about that. It's dope, man. I mean, the thing I watched it with my son. I mean, he likes it a lot, so I started watching them. And the thing that Pokemon always does is they kind of just every new region or whatever that they do, they kind of just like reboot everything, and it's like a different Ash kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's never. They rarely. Now, when we were kids, it was the same Ash kind of, but they kind of rarely acknowledge things that have happened before. It's just like a kind of a new thing every season or every region that they're doing. So the thing that I do like about Pokemon Journeys is now it's like the same Ash from Sun and Moon, which is like the kind of he's like really young and he acts different and he looks weird, right? Like he don't look like the Ash we're used to.
Yeah, the animations change.
Yeah, but that is the Ash. If you guys don't know, Ash does win his first Pokemon, like big Pokemon League win in Sun and Moon. And the thing that I like about Pokemon Journeys is he goes to the Alola region and they like know him, so they're kind of acknowledging things that have existed already, which I think is cool.
Even in the first episode, they show like all of his awards.
Yeah, which I thought it was really dope. I like it. But it's good, man. I like it. It's a sweet show. He's got I like Go, the other kid, and they kind of really show a good dynamic between them two. Ash is the kind of the battle junkie. He only cares about fighting and battling, and then Go only cares about catching everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. It's funny. Ash he's got a really sweet team. So he's got like Gengar and Dragonite.
Bro, by far on paper this is his best team.
Yeah,
like, in terms of like competitive high level Pokemon, like it's not even close.
And it was pretty. That Gengar episode was sad, man.
That
dude left him there for like 3 years.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and I hate seeing stuff like that.
And Gengar smiles, but you could tell it was like that sad, like he's coming back.
Yep.
Nope. You know what I'm saying? That was like really sad.
Yeah, it was tough.
But yeah, man, I've been watching Pokemon Journeys a little bit. That's kind of what I've been into, man.
Word up.
Boom. The theme song's pretty fire. It's not nowhere near as good as the one we talking about.
Yeah,
it's pretty good though.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be no Pokemon theme that the only one that comes close is the second one, or it's either the second or third one. We all live in a Pokemon world. That one is fire.
That one was sweet,
but it ain't nothing is catching season 1, bro.
Never. So, all right, man. So we've been talking about wrestling a lot on here. We both watched. Sorry. So we've been watching a lot of wrestling lately, and we watched the AEW Revolution explosion.
Nah.
I was talking to our homie Nick Milks, my guy, does the letterbox reviews, and he said like that might have been the best use ever of the of that song.
Right, bro, because we had to build it up,
it
bro.
Was so good. It's perfect. But if you did watch Dynamite on Wednesday, they did a really good job of spinning that.
They did.
And I'm so glad that they did, because sometimes, look, man, some WWE fanboys, which, hey, man, it's all right to be a fanboy. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm obviously a fanboy of, like, tons of things, right?
There's something wrong with it if you don't can't acknowledge the flaws.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. And sometimes I saw a lot of WWE fanboys. You guys were so happy that AEW messed up. But the thing that they did was they acknowledged it and they just kind of spun it. WWE be doing little farts too,
right?
And they just act like it never happened.
They just force it down your throat and just dare you to.
Right. What do you mean? I didn't see it. Did you?
Right. It went exactly like it was supposed to go. We wanted those sparklers to go off.
Remember that storyline we started and it was really dumb? It doesn't exist anymore. What are you talking about?
What storyline? They just stop on a dime and just like expect us to forget about the shit. Right, bro.
Exactly. That's what they do. Happens every time. But I want to know, what is the last wrestling match you watched that blew you away?
Yeah, well, aside from the one that you sent me Okada versus Shibata. Yeah. Not Shibata. Shibata. Yeah. What's his first name? Minoru? Katsuhiro.
Katsuyuri.
Shibata. Yeah. Where he got his brains busted in and his mind was leaking out of his forehead.
Yes,
that's crazy. And you also told me that he like almost died after the match.
Died. Yeah,
that's crazy. Super crazy. So that one obviously was great. The last one that I watched on my own that blew me away was probably Ray Phoenix versus Matt Jackson on last week's Dynamite.
Great match.
I mean, bro, Matt Jackson is fine. I think Nick Jackson is clearly like the better wrestler. It's not even close.
Well, they're opposites. That's kind of the thing that makes the Young Bucks good, is like they're both good in the ring, but Nick Jackson is like the superior in-ring guy, and then Matt Jackson kind of brings the personality and he's the guy that's better on the mic, and
like the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, yeah,
exactly. Like with
even the looks.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So I again, I've kind of been having like a come to Jesus moment.
Like Matt even looks like Matt, and his name's Matt.
Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Matt looks like Matt Hardy, and well, Jeff doesn't look like Nick, but
Nick's got the same color hair.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird. I didn't think about that.
And is the better wrestler by far.
Is Nick Jackson's name Jeff Jackson?
Jeff Jackson.
He changed it.
That's funny. So yeah, like I've been having sort of a come to Jesus moment with the Young Bucks because for a long time, for like the past 2 or 3 years, they were my favorite tag team.
Yeah, and then you just kind of realize
man, like this guy's I don't like their gimmick, bro. They're just white. They're just white guys who. Okay, here's what it was that turned me off, man. It was when they started promoting their book, because it made it sound like these niggas came from the dirt and made it as pro wrestlers. Boy, y'all were some rich kids,
and
dog.
Your parents bought you a wrestling,
right? Whose dad built y'all a ring, and so y'all could just do wrestling in your backyard. I mean, we talk about privilege, and like we were even talking about it with basketball. How like if you can afford the training, if you can afford the facilities, if you can afford the support, like you're gonna be ahead.
Yeah, like I coach and train kids, and there's so many kids that you see now that just have like that one-on-one professional trainer from the time they're like 11 years old, and by the time they're in 8th grade, they're like miles ahead of all the other kids. You know,
even me, I'll admit, bro. Like I never had a one-on-one personal trainer, but my parents sent me to a couple of camps. I went to the Carolina camp.
Same here.
I went to the 5-star camp a couple of times. I went to the 5-star camp as a motherfucker. Right. That's where I met Donnell Mack. Yeah. Boy, he was so fucking cold, dog.
He's he played at Memphis, left-hand shooter.
Athletic as hell, just crazy.
He was good.
Donnell Mack and Chris Paul's little brother was there too, who was also obviously pretty good. I mean, sure. Like, if your brother's Chris Paul, you at least are really good.
Something.
Right. You're not gonna be weak if your brother's Chris Paul. But anyway, like, and I went to a shooting camp. I went to the Baumgartner shooting camp in Indiana, and that like changed my career. Like that changed me into a guy who couldn't shoot a lick into like a knockdown shooter. It's off that one experience. So anyways, I've been realizing more and more that I like Nick Jackson a lot. I don't know how much I like Matt Jackson. I don't know how much I love the Young Bucks necessarily. I do still like them. I think the Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express are probably my 2 favorite tag teams right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, Ray Phoenix versus Matt Jackson was just phenomenal. And it just made me realize, bro, I really think that aside from Kenny Omega, I really think that Ray Phoenix is probably my second favorite wrestler right now.
He's been
So good.
having the last, like, this year and then a lot of last year, too. This dude has just been on a tear of having, like, these sweet matches. Like I kind of mentioned, I think last episode or the episode before that, you can tell that they're really investing in him.
For sure.
Like, he's got the sweet pyro entrance now. Like,
They know he's a star, bro.
Yeah, bro. Superstar. Dude, every match he has, he just delivers.
Yeah, big fan.
I love that match too. I think the last match that kind of blew me away though was probably Tanahashi versus Shingo for the never open weight title that Tanahashi has right now in New Japan. That match was really dope. I mean, he's old and it's just crazy that he still goes at such a high level.
Looking at you, Chris Jericho, because I feel like they're like the same age, right?
Yeah, around the same age. Yeah, I think Jericho's old. He's a little older, but. He's probably a few years older than Tanahashi, but Tanahashi's definitely been wrestling a more punishing style for a longer period of time.
For sure.
And that match was really dope, man. I'm a fan. I'm always a fan of guys like kicking out at one after a big move.
Yeah.
they did this little trade off where they both did it a couple times, and it was pretty dope. And then obviously
6 years older.
Yeah,
but it looks like he's right 15 years older.
And then Shingo hits his move made in Japan on Tanahashi, and he like killed him almost. I can't believe he kicked out. He dropped him right on his head. But that match was probably the last match I watched where I was just like, oh my goodness, that match was really dope. But yeah, bro, no more WandaVision right now. We're kind of waiting for Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is upon us this week. I think it comes out on Friday.
I think you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, bro. So just real quick, we always talk about our predictions and everything. Let's get into like our kind of theories for the next phase of the Marvel movies, right? So
yeah.
I'll go first just with some thoughts that I have. Obviously, we watched WandaVision. Then I actually had never watched the Loki trailer until
tried to tell you, dog.
Yeah, bro. So I looked at the Loki trailer, and I saw there's a clear Mephisto reference in the Loki trailer. There's like a portrait of some kind. I don't know what's going on in the scene, but there's a portrait of like a devil-looking character. So, but the thing that caught me the most, the thing that really got me in the Loki trailer is there's this company and they're kind of like time cops and they kind of travel to different timelines, I think, or universes or whatever. And I think that's what the show is going to be about. I think it's going to be about Loki, and they're going to give him a job to kind of go and stop himself in all these other worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Shenanigans. Right. Loki.
But the thing that got me the most is there's a scene where there's like these statues. Well, they're like these face molds of these individuals, and one all the way to the left looks exactly like Kang the Conqueror. It's not like it looks exactly like him. So the theory that I kind of have is just that obviously I think that one of the big conflicts that they're going to get to soon is going to be the Secret Invasion, right? They got the Skrulls already. They kind of had a Skrull thing come up at the end of Captain Marvel with Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
But the Skrulls have also been presented in the MCU as like good guys, kind of. So I think it would be dope if they did the Secret Invasion, but instead of the Skrulls invading, it would be the Kree. You know what I mean? And they already introduced Kree in the Captain Marvel movie. Obviously, that's how Captain Marvel gets her powers. You know what I'm saying? In the comic books, that's how Carol Danvers gets her powers, is from Marvel, right? And he's a Kree. So I was thinking it would be dope if they did do Secret Invasion, but instead of the Skrulls invading Earth, it would be the Kree. And then that would give us the Kree-Skrull War still, which is another big thing. We could get Operation Galactic Storm, which is another big event, which would also be what I'm getting at is that I think Kang the Conqueror is going to be kind of the first big bad guy that we get. And he is a notorious time traveler. And the whole reason he time travels is because he is trying to save his wife. His wife dies, right? And I think the war that she dies in is the Kree-Skrull War.
Yeah.
So he travels, through all these different dimensions and these different timelines, trying to stop this war from happening, which would bring him to Earth, which would make him the overarching villain, and the big event would be the Kree Skrull War. Now, those are kind of my thoughts. I think Kang's going to be the big bad, and I think they're going to get into Kree Skrull War. What are your thoughts on kind of where things are headed?
Yeah, I think that could certainly be. I mean, we know for sure that Kang is going to show up. He's already been casted. He's going to.
Is he? I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me being putting my.
Hey,
Nope.
well, actually,
No, not that.
This is
Okay.
me being a little activated here.
Okay.
This is me being a little
Whoop, wrong one.
Bro, the Vision memes are hilarious. They straight up turned Vision into a black dude.
They
On
did.
the internet. It's so funny. But yeah, I think Kang should be black.
He is black.
Seriously?
Yeah, they casted Jonathan Majors.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I think he should be black. He seems like a black dude.
Yeah,
I
I
like
also read somewhere. I think I should look this up.
And he
but
talks like this.
I think in the comics, Kang the Conqueror is related to Reed Richards somehow.
Wow.
He's like he's like a super descendant
Okay. Yeah.
of Reed Richards from like 1,000 years in the future.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna. I mean, that's a comic like kind of whatever. But I don't. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. So we know for sure Kang is gonna be here. He's gonna get introduced in Ant-Man 3. I don't know if he's gonna be the main. He'll probably. I don't know. Like he could be. I think it would be wasted if they had him as the main villain.
Yeah.
That's
that
Ant-Man
would just
3.
kill my whole theory that
But
I just put together.
what they could do is officially introduce him in Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
And like
And that could mean anything. That could be via the end credit scene.
Sure,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
I mean, the same way that they introduced Thanos
at
in
the end of the first Avengers.
the first
movie.
Avengers, right?
To
So,
battle them would be to court death. Smile.
all right. So here is what I think is gonna, and this is like this just came to me while you were talking. This is like probably not gonna get set up. It could get set up part of it can get set up this phase, but this is more phase 5.
Mhm.
I think I have a better way for the X-Men to come into the Marvel universe.
Uh-oh.
There are a lot of different theories. The ones that I hate are all the ones that suggest that the X-Men just get started now.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Cannot happen.
Because it undermines two of the most important characters, man, and it erases the struggle of being a mutant.
Bro, if you don't have Charles Xavier and Magneto as mentors who have been there, done that already, then then you've killed their story.
100%.
So I don't like any of those theories. The multiverse theory is the one that makes the most sense. But here's what I think they should do. I would be totally fine if they just created a X-Men universe in a different multiverse, right? In a different
and not in this Earth, right?
or like this, just a different reality, a different version of this Earth that has. So Pete, you can just start the X-Men movies, and you ain't got to explain shit. Just be like, all right, in this universe, the X-Men exist.
Mm.
If you want to do some shenanigans with Doctor Strange or the Eternals, where you can like establish ahead of time that this is a different reality, fine. You can figure out how to do that. You make 2-3 X-Men movies, right? X-Men 1, 2, whatever. Maybe do a little mid crossover X-Men and the Fantastic Four, have a fucking whatever. And then at the end of phase 5, what you do, because I've always said that the only level.
No, that would be dope, because you could even do, instead of doing an Avengers versus X-Men movie, you could do an X-Men versus Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Since that would be kind of the universe that they exist in.
Right. And it's already the Fox universe as well. They got those two properties. But Peep, here's where it gets interesting. Because I've said for about a year now that the only big bad that's a step up from Thanos is God Doom in the Secret Wars. So what you might be able to do is literally, I've talked about this comic all the time because I think it's fantastic. It's my favorite version of the Secret Wars. It's the 2015 Secret Wars with Jonathan Hickman, where they do the multiverse conversion or Is that what that's what they use? Did they converge on it? Excursion. Yeah. Where they come together. So what you can do is literally play out, and you establish Doctor Doom, right? You throughout these several movies.
Incursion or something like that.
Incursion. Yeah, that's the one. Incursion. Yeah. You establish the same way that you established X-Men, and then alongside that you had the Fantastic Four movies kind of running next to each other. You can establish Doctor Doom over the course of those movies, have him be a big bad, and then you can literally do the motherfucking Infinity or the Secret Wars 2015 story where you have God Doom seizing the powers of the Beyonders and bringing the MCU as we know it with all the Avengers and the new X-Men Foxverse into the same universe. What you have already built up Doctor Doom. You've built up, you can do whatever you can do, even while we're doing the Kang the Conqueror stuff, or like establishing whatever else you're doing in phase 5 of the MCU side, or like the existing side of the MCU. And then you can actually bring to fruition the Jonathan Hickman 2015 Secret Wars story where God Doom or Doctor Doom seizes the power of the Beyonder, becomes God Doom, and literally brings my theoretical Fox X-Men MCU and the existing MCU into one timeline. Because in the comic, when that happens, you've got Franklin Richards and the Molecule Man basically have created this timeline. They've created this universe. And now you've got the Ultimate Universe and the regular Marvel 616 universe existing together at the same time.
Boom.
And you don't have to and so when you do this, when you launch it again, everyone will have the memories of like, oh, like these universes have always been together, right? And to me, I feel like that's a way, even if you don't do it exactly like that, you could do something like that to escape from all the having to start the X-Men universe over from scratch. Like, we don't need to fucking see that shit, bro.
Right, bro. We don't need.
That's my theory. That's like 10 years down the line, though.
But still, though, like, don't just fart the mutants out.
No, you gotta respect.
You know what I'm saying?
That the mutants shit that y'all been seeing on the internet is fake. That's not happening. I guarantee you.
We got this covered.com.
Yeah, stop it. Not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it.
All right, man. So, what are your kind of early predictions for Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Well, from what I've already, go ahead.
Just what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's just Zemo? Do you think it might be some Masters of Evil going on, or do you think there's going to be something, I guess, bigger, or do you think it's just going to be them wrapping up the Zemo conflict and kind of wrapping up Hydra still festering in the world?
Yeah, I think it's going to be all of those things somehow, and I also think the central story arc is going to be who's going to be the next Captain America. That's going to be because they've got U.S. Agent in it, and he's going to be the guy that they bring in to try to be the next Cap. Right. For
everybody that doesn't know, U.S. Agent is the guy who kind of looks like Captain America, but he wears black suit.
Yep. And you know they if Marvel's had any balls,
he's like the super government version of Cap.
Yeah.
Cap's way less governmenty.
Yeah, Cap is fairly. He's kind of a hippie in the movies versus the comics.
But U.S. Agent is definitely a Republican.
No, that U.S. Agent is
he's a conservative.
He's an absolute conservative. There's no doubt about it. So I think, and if Marvel had any balls, and they might now that, you know, in 2020, 2021, are they going to, and they started writing this around that same time. And I know that Anthony Mackie has a woke bone in his body.
Papa Doc.
Yeah. So are they going to visit this idea of like, is the world ready for a black Captain America, right? Like, because, I mean, we know in the comics that Steve Rogers hands the shield to Falcon and he becomes the new Captain America.
Yep. I don't want to see the whole, I don't want to be a black Captain America. I just want to be the Captain America.
Yeah,
they do that.
Yeah, that's how the first run of Miles Morales failed, in my opinion. because they really downplayed the black and brown aspect, which I thought was a grave. Because they basically listened to the fanboys who reacted to it badly, and I'm sorry, let's downplay the race stuff. Like, nah, more race stuff.
Right, boost
all
it
of it.
Turn it up.
Right, turn that shit all the goddamn. So if they do that, that'll be cool. From what I've read, I've already heard that the action is fire. Like they said that it's like.
I'm expecting.
Yeah, you're gonna get all the action that you wanted in WandaVision. You're gonna get that immediately.
But I'm expecting kind of Winter Soldier needs some redemption. His character was so good in the Winter Soldier movie, but they really reduced him to just a dude that shoots a gun afterwards. He was not very relevant or didn't do much after, after Winter Soldier and kind of Civil War, but not
he had a couple
really.
moments in Civil War.
He had a couple moments, but nowhere near as good as his first movie. And I don't like the clean shaven Winter Soldier either. I like the long hair and the.
Winter Soldier didn't. They view him along the same lines as Hawkeye. Whether that's true, whether that's like warranted or not, that's clearly the way Marvel views him. He's the only one of the Avengers, one of very few that didn't have his own movie. So like he's like a sidekick, right? Which sucks. But
I just like I don't know, man. I really he's just one of those kids. Like in the same breath as Hawkeye, just do more with the comic book look instead of just trying to do like the, no mask, no. At least give him the eye thing that he wears in the comic book, like something. You know what I'm saying? Dudes are superheroes, bro. Like,
but see, that's the thing. They never. Okay, bro. That's an interesting conversation because I think they're gonna have a hard time with that with the X-Men as well because they've never said that in any of the MCU.
They have.
Any of the MCU stories, they've never mentioned superheroes, not in any serious capacity. So like, I don't think they've bought into the like costume gimmicks, right? Like, I think in this reality, it's all practical. It's all like, what do you need in order to make the shit work, right? Like, for some, and I gotta be honest, dog, like, for some stories, it works better, right? Like, we are kind of away from the 1960s and 70s where, like, for all intents and purposes, superheroes were wrestling characters and needed, like, a gimmick and a costume. That's going to be tough to do now with everybody's corny radars, like, all the way sensitive. Like, you're going to have to really find a way to do that shit and make it. Because, like, with Scarlet Witch, they did a great job of, like,
they did a really good job
weaving it into, like, the character magic.
And not making it, like, a big deal. Just kind of happy.
Yeah. Doctor Strange also did a great. This nigga is a magician, and, like, these are the monk robes that he wore.
Right, and the
like,
cape is, like, alive.
Right, exactly. With the X-Men, though, like, these niggas be having some crazy, borderline goofy costumes on. And I don't know how they tried it with the first X-Men movies. They tried to make them real practical as fuck, right? Like, no like Wolverine face mask with the fucking things. And I don't know if you just, it's gonna be hard, bro. It's gonna be. I would want it. I want it because that's my guy. But like, it's real easy for them niggas to make that shit look stupid. So. Amen. All right, Disney, y'all are creative experts. Y'all figure this shit out and make it work.
Put the costumes on the superheroes, man.
But don't make it corny.
Don't make it corny. Yeah.
Like, I know that's hard, but try.
I mean, they took a step. Zemo's got his mask.
He does.
That's a step.
But with super villains, though, I think it makes more sense to have the crazy costume.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to, even with Batman, like his whole thing is like, I want to scare people, right? Like for villains, that would make sense. For heroes, you got to think of a way to not make it ridiculous.
Batman's a psycho.
I mean, clearly, it's insane.
But yeah, I feel you, bro. So yeah, I'm hoping that this show offers a lot. I know it's gonna be good action wise.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm coming down off my take where I thought where I was thinking that they waste their bullets on sweet shit because I realized that this actually was supposed to come out before
Black Widow.
It was supposed to come out before Black Widow and WandaVision. So
I kind of wonder. I would love a Taskmaster cameo too in this. That would be cool. There's a lot of dope like Avengers kind of street level villains. I mean, Taskmaster a cameo from him would be dope. I would love to see Crossbones, but I don't think it's possible because he like blew up and,
oh my god, yeah.
And it was that
nigga just they
that was
wheeled
Civil
him
War,
out,
wasn't it? Yeah, that was Civil
in Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just rolled him out in a bag afterwards.
And but I mean, even like Batroc, right? Batroc is the French burglar kind of acrobatic dude. He was actually in Winter Soldier at the beginning. He fights the dude that fights Cap.
Oh, on the ship.
Cap does the tornado kick.
Bruh. Toxic do I still have that?
Does that kick and just puts him to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's another kind of cool street level. Like even like I said, Masters of Evil, right? Maybe we get some Zemo. Maybe we get Baron Strucker coming back. You know, he's another Hydra goon. Maybe we get maybe we'll get like Crimson Dynamo, like those kinds of characters. You know, Crimson Dynamo, Enchantress. Just, you know, the street level kind of Masters of Evil guys.
Y'all always want us to like, I know this is not a disagreement, but y'all want us to differ more. Noveliss is the king of the street level guys, the street level heroes and the street level villains. Give me all the cosmic niggas. Give me all the cosmic niggas, dog. All of them.
He wants dudes that can change reality.
Right. I don't know if so here's the thing, bro. I don't necessarily know if I want those characters.
Punches and kicks.
But I
weapons.
like. I think the stories that they tell on that level are bro. Them bitches
they're sweaty.
Crazy sweaty.
Yeah,
I be liking that shit. If you want to just sit down and just think about your whole life and like realize how insignificant you are, then read some Jack Kirby 60s fucking, you know, Silver Surfer, goddamn, you know, original Secret Wars, just cosmic nonsense.
I agree. But yeah, bro. So I am looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Definitely, we're gonna cover it just like we did WandaVision, just like we do Mandalorian. So, boom. All right, man. What's the latest movie you watched and how was it?
Just watched a movie yesterday. Now I'm gonna tell you off top, this movie is not for you, bro. It's not. There is not there is exactly one punch thrown in this entire movie. I shouldn't say that. Let me not typecast you, bro. You do more than punches and kicks. My bad. But I know your taste.
Right.
This is not a movie that you would probably seek out on your own. But it was really fucking good, man. On some goddamn. My wheelhouse is like black, like liberation, black history, black story. This movie was called White Tiger. It's on Netflix. Okay. And it talks about the caste system in India, about how you talk about racism and classism in America. In India, it's like a lot more pronounced, and it's a bigger part of their culture where like there's a low caste and a high caste. And if you come from poverty, if you come from like struggle, like you just simply cannot escape the trap. You cannot escape I think they call it the chicken coop in India. And like the best you can hope for is to be a servant of like the higher caste. And this is like in 2020. This is not like in the 1800s. This is happening now. Wow. They say that it's two different countries, you know, where there's a lot of wealth and there's a lot of just abject poverty. But anyways, this story is about this dude who was a guy in a low caste in a poor village and like wanted to escape, so he became a servant to this rich family. And like I was stunned at how much I like this movie. It's like he eventually like realizes that they treat him like shit and like rises up against his masters, but is like really smart about how he does it on some like kind of gangster type shit. Like it's almost like a crime story a little bit. But his redemption and his like rise up and his story, it's a heel turn that you root for. Right. And it's like, yo, dog, I'm here for all of this shit. And especially now in like this age of wealth inequality, it just, you know, it makes you hear stuff like eat the rich all the time, right? If you're someone who voted for Bernie Sanders and like are into the idea of like wealth redistribution or just like changing how much inequality there is in terms of like wealth and access, you will resonate with this movie a lot. So
Word.
White Tiger, Netflix, check it out.
White Tiger.
What about you? Oh, well, of course.
So yeah, man. You already know Raya and the Last Dragon. This is latest kind of Disney CGI movie that came out. This is now, I've watched it 3 times. My daughter loves it. I've watched it 3 times. This is now my number 1 favorite Disney movie ever. And I never thought that the original Mulan would get surpassed, but this is now my favorite Disney movie ever. This movie was awesome. I mean, obviously, yes, I'm an action junkie. Best fight scenes ever in a Disney movie. Like choreographies, everything was really, really crazy. But the story was really dope, man. It's about this girl named Raya, and basically, once upon a time, there were these dragons that existed in the world to kind of. And there's like this I can't remember the name of it, but there's like this evil force that just kind of comes from the earth, and the dragons were there to kind of protect people from it, But basically, the movie is super relevant to today. The movie is basically about like humanity having to trust each other in order to reach prosperity. You know what I'm saying? And it's about these different clans that are kind of in this land called Kumandra. And basically what happens is something happens and all the dragons have to sacrifice themselves. All the dragons have to sacrifice themselves, and there's only one dragon left, in order to kind of save everyone from this evil force. Now, the only thing that can keep this force away is the dragon. There's like this gem that all the dragons kind of got together and gave to the last dragon. And the little girl, Raya, it starts off with her and her father. They have it in where they live at, in their kind of their kingdom that they live in. And what happens is her father really wants to bring everyone together and have everyone trust each other again, and they keep it, and they keep their gem kind of hidden away. And then when Raya meets a girl from another clan, and she wants to show it to her, but they end up, starting to fight and trying to take it from them. And then what happens is when this dark force comes, it turns people into stone. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the movie is that everyone is stone except like a couple people. You know what I'm saying? And Raya is basically on a mission to get all the pieces of the gem, to put it together, to try to bring back the dragons, you know what I'm saying? And there's one dragon left, the last one. She ends up finding her, and they become friends, and she helps her on her mission. But I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but the movie is really good, man. And it's got, like I said, it's got dope fights, just really good scenery, good story. And it's not like your typical musical Disney movie. There's no musical numbers in it. It's just like a really dope like fantasy martial arts movie. So I really enjoyed it. I loved it. It's fire.
I've heard it described as Mulan meets Korra, not the last Airbender, but the Avatar Korra, essentially.
Yeah, I don't like when people typecast it like that, because it's really not similar to Mulan to me. You know what I mean? It's
just because it's got Chinese symbolism.
Asian influence. So, it's like Mulan. Nah, not really. You know what I mean? It would be more similar to Moana in terms of a female character having to go out on her own and like accomplish something away from home. You know what I mean? But the action is just unlike anything you've seen in Disney movies. So I loved it. Raya and the Last Dragon.
Would you say the action is better than Big Hero 6?
I would say it might not be as many maybe action parts as Big Hero 6, but the action parts that are there, the quality, yes. Like they're like legit fights, and you know what I'm saying? Legitimate like martial arts choreography. So definitely, yeah, I loved it, man. It's definitely my new number 1 favorite Disney movie. Boom. Raya and the Last Dragon. Super dope. But yeah, and again, the message in the movie is super relevant to today. It's all about humans having to kind of overcome their fears of not trusting each other, and their fears of having kind of pointless hatred for each other. And the only way that they can, come out on top is to actually trust each other. You know what I'm saying? So
if only it were that easy.
If only it were that easy. And you see in this movie how ridiculous some people can be. You know what I'm saying? Even with the fate of the world on the line, it's crazy. Still making the wrong decisions. Not that hard. But yeah, bro. So yeah, another question, bro. What's an anime that deserves a second chance from you? Maybe something that you started, you didn't give it. Maybe you started it and you started watching something else and you never gave it another chance. What is an anime that deserves that second look from Hiro-san?
It was Fire Force, but then
then you went back and you gave it a chance. Shark Teeth. Yeah, you did. That was the first ever I was wrong about you.
Yeah,
and
man.
It literally had me in tears. That was just one of the funniest moments ever on the podcast.
It turned out that shit was sweet. Who knew? Turned out that shit was fire literally fire the whole time. I would say, like, I started watching, I don't know, dog. Because I feel like if I don't like it, then
You don't like it.
then I
That's
might
it.
be off the shit.
Boom.
So one that I think that I've heard a lot about that I think that I may like. Okay, so the one immediate answer is God of High School, but not because I didn't,
Right.
because I don't like it, just because like I just kind of got away from it. So I'm going back. Oh, I got a good one. I think Boruto is going to be my answer because from what I'm understanding, the anime has caught up with the manga and it's gotten really good.
Oh, well, I need to watch it.
From what I heard.
I read the manga, but I do not watch that show.
Yeah, I started watching it, and I think I liked it more than some people did, but I'm not enough to stick with it because I'm not.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in probably about a year.
Right.
But from what I'm understanding, it's gotten good. I feel like the whole Boruto story is getting the last laugh on people. Like, I feel like it is flat out good now.
Yeah, well, in the manga, it is good. I just think, Boruto scares me because I don't want this to happen with My Hero. I don't want to have to watch another show in the future where Deku's a teacher at UA to see him at his full power. You know what I'm saying? Like how we have to watch Boruto because we want to see Hokage, Naruto, and we want to see Sasuke at his best. Like they didn't achieve that in the show. We have to watch them at their absolute best in a spin-off show.
So
and I don't want that to happen with My Hero. Like I want to see Deku, #1 hero, in action in that show. I don't want to have to watch, My Hero Legends. Or
okay,
something.
so here's a radical thought then.
And it's them being teachers at the school.
Then I think that I think Shippuden fucked up then. I think that it's hard to blame Boruto for that. I mean, obviously nobody cares. So that's the point. Like nobody cares about the character Boruto, it seems like. So here's a radical idea is this. They should have either not made Boruto at all and just made an adult Naruto series, which I'm sure people would love, and this would hurt a lot of people, but I think it would tell a better story than what they're doing now, is you should have killed Naruto and Sasuke for good. Somehow, right? And then just made the story about Boruto and just and kind of separated it from the Naruto legend more than it is right now. One or the other, or maybe both, maybe one then the other, right? In a way that because I feel like both are getting shortchanged now because there are some interesting stories to tell about what the child of Naruto's life would have been like. There's some interesting stories there that's getting shortchanged by the fact that everybody's here for adult Naruto, which is also getting shortchanged by the fact that he's not the main character of the show.
Right.
So you need to separate them somehow.
That's the problem. That is the problem with the show, in my opinion, because like you said, you got two completely different concepts that are just separating each other, and it's not one. You're not getting people coming to watch for the same reasons. You know what I'm saying? So I agree.
What about you?
I think Boruto's a great answer, but I do read the manga, so I won't say that one. But I will say, I think Jujutsu Kaisen, man. I think I've just seen some fight scenes, and I think me going back and giving it another shot, getting past the toxic waste sludge monsters, I think I might actually kind of like the show. So I'm gonna eventually give it another try. Like I said, I started watching it, and then I kind of fell into rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho, and I just never went back to it.
I think the reason why Jujutsu Kaisen scares me is that this seems like the most textbook shonen anime that I've ever seen.
Right.
Like it is following all of the beats. And I thought we had kind of gotten away from that because you got My Hero Academia, who does it its own way a little bit. You got Dr. Stone. You got all these offshoots. And then Jujutsu Kaisen is like, all right, for all you purists, here's Naruto Part 3 with all different characters, but they're all kind of the same.
Right.
I've been really critical of that. And from what I have seen, it just seems like it's just like, all right, man, we know what y'all want. Here's the whole formula, just with new colors on it.
Just like you remember it.
Right. So we'll see. I'll see what you say, and then I'll check it out again.
I'm gonna give it a couple episodes. All right, man. It's time for one of our favorite parts of the show. You can only pick 3. Go ahead, pull that up. We are still in the 25th year of Pokemon, so we're gonna kind of still celebrate a little Pokemon here. We've both been around since day 1.
Yeah, man.
25 years, man. I've been a Pokemon fan for 25 years.
Me too.
We got a you can only pick 3 here, and we got legendary Pokemon on there. You can only pick 3 legendaries. Some sweet ones on there. What 3 are you picking? What are you looking at here, bruh?
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. So the first, let's go through them real quick. We got Rayquaza top left.
Boom.
This is like a traditional. This Pokemon is clearly inspired by the traditional Chinese dragon, which I think is really, really a fire design. One of my favorite Pokemon designs ever. Interesting omission. So there's one.
I think Rayquaza is one of the only dragons that actually looks like a dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he looks like a dragon you would expect to see in, some Chinese folklore or.
He looks exactly like the karate that I studied when I was younger.
Yeah.
Our brand, our like emblem was just like that. Interesting omission. I see that we have Lugia, but there's one probably one of my favorite of all time legendaries is Ho-Ho or Hau, however you pronounce his name. Which I feel, because that's actually the first legendary that we ever see in the first episode of Pokemon. How about that for an Easter egg? They hadn't even released that Pokemon yet.
And he was in the show.
Yeah. A full generation early. So Lugia, also one of my favorites from Pokemon Silver. Then we got 2 of the 3 legendaries with Articuno and Zapdos from Generation 1. Then we got the man in the middle. Obviously, my first keeper going to be Mewtwo.
Hey, just tried to punch him in the stomach.
Just one. God damn it.
Hey, man. Yeah.
So I gotta switch this.
Yeah.
I think I misplaced. I put the A-man where the punch used to be. There we go. So I gotta get
acclimated with that.
All right. So anyways, yeah. Mewtwo Ash tried to straight up scrap with Mewtwo.
He's shot the fade with a couple Pokemon.
Yeah, man. For sure. So yeah, he's my first keeper, clearly. Then we've got Susuin, which is one of the 3 legendary dogs from Pokemon Generation 2. My favorite dog, unfortunately, is not on the list, which is Entei.
Oh, Entei's your favorite.
Entei is my favorite because, bro, the Pokemon entry reads that when he barks, fucking volcanoes erupt. Excuse me? Beg your pardon? Bro, that motherfucker's a beast. Then we've got Kyogre. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Kyogre.
Kyogre from Alpha and Sapphire.
Yeah.
Sorry, from Ruby and Sapphire. And his counterpart, Groudon or something. Groudon. Yeah, Groudon. I definitely preferred the fucking super whale, the goddamn infinity whale.
Yeah.
Then we got Dialga from Pokemon. Is it black? Or is either black and white or no? It's Diamond and Pearl. Yep. Who I remember this might be my second keeper just because we talked about superpowers, right? Like I remember being really connected to this Pokemon because he had the power to control time, which is the
he's
same.
super powerful.
Yeah, so it was him. I can't remember what the other one's name was, and Arceus are like the three, like that's like the holy trinity of like Pokemon gods.
Yeah.
Space, time, and Palkia, I think is the second one.
So, yeah.
Space, time, and the fucking one above all. God damn it.
Right. Super powerful, man.
Yeah. And then we've got from Sun and Moon, Celestia.
Lunala, I think that's the moon one.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the
then the sun one is the one that I said.
Yeah.
So this Pokemon is really got a dope design. I actually think that Sun and Moon is the only Pokemon game that I didn't play all the way
That's
through.
crazy. That's the only one I didn't play too.
Yeah, I played some of it, but I didn't finish it.
I was literally just talking about that the other day. I've played every single Pokemon game ever except Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, yeah. I think it's because I didn't have the system. At the time, I did not have a 3DS yet. Yeah. I did get one, but I didn't get it for this. I got it for the next game.
Right. I'll probably play it soon.
Or I got it for the game that came out before that, which was Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, and Omega Ruby.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about that Pokemon, but I do have my three keepers, I believe. I'm going to go with Mewtwo first. Then I'm going to go with Rayquaza, the fucking martial arts dragon. And then I think I'm going to go from, just because it's my favorite, it's either my favorite or my second favorite generation, I'm going to go with Lugia from Gen 2. The arrow bird dragon, whatever.
Right. There's an episode of Pokemon Journeys where Ash and go ride on Lugia.
Bro, how awesome is that, dog?
Bro, that was sweet. Yeah.
And I think he never directly said it, but it was implied that Lugia remembered Ash.
Yeah.
From the adventures that they've had before. Yeah. Bro, Ash has met literally every single legendary.
Bro, come on, man. We gotta. I know Ash has done some stupid things and it's funny, but he's clearly the greatest trainer ever.
Not even close, bro. And he's only like 12 now.
He's been perpetually 12 years old for 25 years.
Yeah. So those are the three I'm keeping. What about you?
Man, we might actually be really similar here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, my first keeper is going to be the green space dragon. Rayquaza. It's one of the sweetest designs. Like I said, there's so many dragon types in Pokemon, but I just think Rayquaza has the best look out of all the dragons. He's going to be my first keeper. I love him. Just really dope, super powerful. Space dragon, green. Doesn't get sweeter. Celestial space dragon. Number 2, we got Lugia. Lugia is one of my favorites too, man, from one of my favorite generations of Pokemon. Another really dope design. Like I said, Lugia's what is Lugia's? Flying and
water.
Water, I think, yeah. Lugia is really dope. Kind of always reminded me of Lapras for some reason. I did love Lapras.
Super Lapras.
Yeah, it's like Ultra Lapras with wings that can fly. Lugia is really sweet, so I love Lugia. I also always thought of Lugia as a girl.
Me too.
You too? Yeah.
I also didn't think of Lugia as a bird either. I thought of it more like a dragonfish or something.
Same here. Yeah, I always thought as Lugia as a female like bird or dragon, flying dragonfish or something. The types are weird sometimes. Like Gyarados is flying in water. Clearly
makes no sense.
Gyarados literally has the second best dragon design to me.
I think they did that just to make him like not overpowered.
Yeah, because he would be super OP.
He's a Gen 1 Pokemon, and other than if it wasn't for that flying type, he would be by far and away the best character in the game.
The best character in the game. Because Gyarados has the best dragon design to me next to Rayquaza, but he's somehow just a fish, a flying fish.
Yeah.
But then next we got Articuno of the legendary birds in Gen 1. Then we got Zapdos of the legendary birds, both sweet from Gen 1. Then we got my second keeper, which is Mewtwo. Everybody loves Mewtwo, man. How could you not? Got one of the sweetest designs, one of the best types, psychic.
One of the best stories, too.
One of the best stories, and one of the best special attackers ever in the game. And you can teach them moves for coverage for anything, basically.
I think he has, aside from like the either Arceus when you have like the plate that makes them super special attack, or if you have the attack version of Deoxys. I think Mewtwo may have the highest base special attack in the game.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Bro, his stats are stupid, bro.
His special attack will, if you max out, if you put all your EVs into special attack, his special attack will reach like high fours.
For sure, yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Mewtwo's my second keeper. We got Suicune, is that how you say it?
I don't know.
I
fucking don't know.
One of the legendaries from Gen 2. My favorite is actually Rayquaza.
Oh, the Thunder Dragon? Or Thunder Dog?
Thundercat, Sabretooth, whatever looking thing. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite one, but I do think all three are dope as one. In terms of all the legendaries, that's one of the best
That's the best legendary trio.
Yeah, I think they're all three really sweet.
You know, a secret weak link of the Pokemon franchise is that after Gen 2, the legendary trios were all kind of whack.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even care about them anymore.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree for sure. Then we got Kyogre, who is one of my favorite legendaries ever. Like one of those ancient. He's another ancient one, like Rayquaza and Groudon from that generation. I love Kyogre, just a killer whale monster.
A dinosaur whale.
Right. Basically a prehistoric dinosaur whale who controls the weather. You know what I'm saying? Really dope. Then we got Dialga, the legendary from another dragon type, right? Doesn't look like a
Dragon Steel.
But again, Dragon Steel is crazy good type for Pokemon. So I do think Dialga's sweet. Then we got Lunala from Sun and Moon. Another really good type, man. I think Lunala's Psychic and Ghost, which is crazy powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, my first keeper is Rayquaza. My second is Mewtwo. And I'm going to stay on the same page as you, bro. We're going to have the same ones because my third keeper is going to be Lugia, man.
Let's go.
And that's my top three.
Boom.
That I'm keeping in that one. All right, man, let's get into it. So, again, staying with celebrating this 25-year anniversary of Pokemon, instead of us doing a traditional top 5 of the day, if you play the game, you know that you get 6 Pokemon to battle with. So if we are battling, what is your all-time lineup of your 6 Pokemon? But we have a catch, no legendaries in your lineup.
All right, man. So it took you until just now for me to understand the question properly. So as a result, I actually have 2 different lists. I have 2 different 6s.
My bad.
Because at first I thought, so you said if we're battling, which to me means competitive.
Yeah.
At first I did, and I got to read them both now just because they're here. At first I thought you meant just like if you were just traveling the world,
and got your buddies,
right?
And your favorites.
But also like if you needed to compete for a gym or 2, who would you have to have like all like my buddies and also like a dog ass team at the same time?
I agree. I don't know if mine would change. I think mine might actually be the same.
Bro, mine I don't have any. I have 12 different Pokemon. Straight up. No, one of them stays with them. So my buddies and my favorites basically would amount to my 6 favorite Pokemon.
All right. So for our homie who does our graphics, right, for the pod, we will call, just so he knows kind of what to label it when he does the graphic for us. We will call this so we'll say Heroes Pokemon Battle Team. You know what I'm saying? We'll just call it that for the homie Joe. What is it? Joe GFX on Instagram. For the homie Joe, we will call it that. Just our Pokemon battle teams.
Strong. This one you don't have to put. This is just for shiggles.
Poops and giggles, as we call it.
Yeah, piggles and shiggles.
Piggles.
So Charizard, obviously, my man, favorite Pokemon of all time.
How could I forget the other really dope dragon design? Even though he somehow
greatest disrespect of all time.
It's gotta be.
So here's why. I actually know the reason why.
Because again, Charizard would have been super OP too.
Well, and
he kind of is.
He is already, but like think about this. Dragon type only used to have one weakness, which was ice. Now that's 2
it's fairy
with fairy.
And
but
it's so weak, and they kind of upped the weakness to
yeah,
those
it's
two.
quadruple weak to fairy. But if you think about before that, if they would, you simply couldn't have a fire dragon because it makes him no longer weak to ice. Yeah. So he would literally be the best Pokemon by far in the game, no question. So, but they did give him dragon typing in his, I think it's the blue version, the blue, or I don't know, one of those versions of the Mega Evolutions.
Mega Evolve.
But they only did that because by that point they had already introduced Fairy, which is gonna give coverage over that. But anyways, so Charizard, Gengar, Sylveon. Speaking of Fairy types, Greninja, Alakazam, and Gyarados.
That's fire.
That's my buddy squad.
Right.
With maybe a Hitmontop or maybe a Pikachu or goddamn Lucario in there too.
That's just Pikachu is the strongest Pokemon of all time.
Yeah, level 101. 6 perfect IVs.
The beating legendaries 101.
Now, this is the official list, the competitive list. And these are my dogs too, right? Like these.
Now, when you read this list, I want you to kind of give a quick rundown of what they bring to the table.
All right. So number 6, the tank of the squad. We're gonna go with Tyranitar.
Oh, right? Godzilla.
Yeah, bro. Godzilla, ground type, crazy high attack. One of the highest base attacks in the game. One of the highest base HPs in the game, and one of the highest base defenses in the game.
Yes, sir.
So you got a big body.
You got the bulky attacker. Yep. He's also Tyranitar has I have bred 60 and I can't get the ability I want. He has that ability where he can just bring a sandstorm.
Oh yeah.
When he comes.
I can't remember what I think it's called sandstorm or something like that. Yeah.
Which it matters.
It matters. It not only does it hurt your opponent, it also doubles the power of any ground type moves. And he's ground and rock. So he does have some weaknesses, some vulnerabilities to water. He's double weak to water, but the rock typing gives him almost immunity to fire, which is huge.
Yes, and another really dope dragon design. It's
not a dragon. Right. So yeah, Tyranitar, I mean, he's the tank. He's the boulder that's gonna roll these niggas over. So then number 5, I've got Greninja, who is
let's go.
Water
and dark.
And so dark water,
great typing,
super good typing, gives him a lot of coverage, crazy high base speed and special attack.
You already know that's my guy.
And in terms of that typing, that dark water typing gives him a lot of coverage for a lot of different move sets. And I got him and his attacking buddy, right? So if we've got Tyranitar in the center, we've got my 2 attacking forwards. His buddy is going to be Cinderace.
I like it.
And Cinderace specifically with the Libero hidden ability.
Yes, where the changes the typing.
Yeah. So what that does?
Deep cut here. Greninja can have that same ability, bro.
Oh, that's fire.
Imagine having both of them.
That's fire,
That would
OP.
That would be banned. Probably,
OP.
You probably would have to pick. I don't think they'd let you have both of them.
Nah, bro, we having both, bro. We trained them both, dog. They are a pair, and they're both fire and water.
Yeah, and I want to say that ability was called something different back on XY.
There are a few different abilities that do similar things.
Okay.
Pixelate is one. And that is something that I'll get to that in a second.
All right.
So my Cinderace would have that fighting fire type. Again, nice coverage, high special attack with that Libero or Liberio, however you pronounce it. Hidden ability gives him the ability to have especially if you have the move set up right. Talk about move coverage, bro. He would have potentially some of the highest coverage in the game in terms of strategically setting out the move sets. So those would be my 2 attacking forwards. Then to flank my rock, my other defensive specialist we've got Togekiss, who is flying fairy type. That's, for those of y'all who aren't Pokemon sweaties, that's Togepi, but all the way evolved.
Right.
Bro, I think it's my opinion that Togekiss is the best fairy type in the game, with Sylveon as a close second, or maybe not even that close of a second. I think it's Togekiss.
Gardevoirs are in that top probably.
Gardevoir is in there too, but I think the reason why Togekiss has the advantage is that Togekiss has crazy high special attack, and also one of the best base special defenses in the whole game. So this girl, and I always see her as female, is an absolute tank. Fairy types have really, really good move coverage as well, because of the fact that they are all kind of modeled after like Mew, sort of. So she has, you can go psychic, you can go dark, you can go ghost, you can go electric, you can go fire. Like, bro, the Togekiss that I have has Shadow Ball, Hydro Pump, and maybe not, I think some other water, maybe Water Pulse, and Flamethrower.
Right.
And Thunderbolt as well. So like crazy diverse attacker. And then so now we got like my one of my go-to scorers, and then my point guard. So I'm gonna start with my point guard. My point guard is who I'm gonna lead off with, and a lot of people hate, you either love or you hate this Pokemon because it's super gimmicky, but that gimmick is a motherfucker, and I'm going with Mimikyu as my point guard. The imitation Pikachu, which is a dark. Is it just Ghost? Oh no, it's Ghost Fairy.
Mimikyu is Ghost Fairy.
Ghost Fairy, which is why it has such a amazing typing. It has very, very few weaknesses, and for it to be sort of a little guy, it has like crazy high attack, like base attack, and pretty decent defense as well. But the reason why it's hard to deal with is that it has that disguise, decoy.
Your first attack is wasted
unless you have
Urshifu. Urshifu is I found out on accident, just battling online, and had Urshifu. Urshifu is like one of the only Pokemon that is a bad matchup for Mimikyu, because Urshifu has, but he's a legendary, so we can't.
Well, it's a specific.
Urshifu has an ability called Unseen Fist, where he can. Where he can punch through his disguise,
and it can also break. It can punch through barriers as well. But there's another ability.
Mold Breaker.
Mold Breaker. That's the one. They can break through if you have a barrier up.
Man, put the nerd glasses on.
Hey, well, actually,
if you have that, or if you have a shield or a barrier or a light screen, you can attack through all of them.
Word.
But Mimikyu also, because of how he also is really fast as well. So if you do something like Sword Dance to start, take a little bit of a hit. Also, if you have the leftovers, right, to like rebuild your health after each attack, and then hit them with either Rough Play, or if you've got so that's the hard hitting special or fairy move, and then you've got the ghost. What's that ghost? Phantom Force, which is the heavy hitting ghost attack.
Yeah.
So between those two attacks, any dragon you put in front of them, any psychic type you put in front of them, it's a wrap. Right. Mimikyu is a tough little something, a little guy, little confusing ass, like unsuspecting. Mimikyu is the guy who's unsuspecting, dressed like a nerd.
And the thing about Mimikyu is like, you Sword Dance is a really good move, but a lot of Pokemon can't have it because they can't take the hit that you have to take to. Mimikyu can get off Sword Dance no matter what, right? Because he's gonna be able to take that first hit,
and he's also fast.
And he's also fast enough to outspeed somebody too.
So there have been times where like. So you can even play a game where if you're faster than your opponent, you hit a Sword Dance, they do some sort of setup move, and you can hit a second Sword Dance.
He'll one shot, he'll sweep,
roll through the entire team, easily by himself.
Rough Play, is that what it's called?
It's either Rough Play, because that's a physical move, or Phantom Force for Ghost, because both of those are like 90 base power, and both physical attackers. Wrap, knocking the whole squad out. And then my go-to, my shooting guard.
So I want to know, is this your number one?
This will be my number one, yeah.
All right, because I was like, you're missing one that I know you like, so I wonder if this is it. Go ahead.
Of course, bro. This guy has become one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. And it's to the point where, from what I don't like my peace of mind does not allow for me to play online any games anymore. I'm past that phase of my gaming career. But from what I understand, I still keep up with it and I'm still like into it. This character is so good that he's almost like people are banning him in some tournaments. And it's got to be Dragapult.
Hey, that's the one I was.
Dragapult, and I call my Dragapult is nicknamed Death Clock from Metalocalypse, the old adult swim joint. So here we have a Ghost Dragon. Probably, I think maybe again, aside from like specialized Pokemon,
one of the most unfair types ever.
Almost no weaknesses. The only weakness that he has is Fairy, and he's pretty weak to Fairy. But
Ice, but it's not super effective.
Right,
though.
because of the Ghost typing, that kind of it just I think he's just like normal damage to Ice. But in terms of base stats, ridiculously, dog. His attack and speed just by themselves are like. Individually, I think his speed is probably in the top 5, and his base attack is also in the top 5.
Yeah,
and if
he's
you do
a good special attacker too, it's not like it's weak.
Yeah, he's not a slouch with special attack. But in terms of his base, like if you total up his base stats are like as high as some legendaries. Like I think he's like a 600, which usually in every generation there's at least 1 or 2 dragons that have 600 base stats. Like Salamence is one. Garchomp is another, Dragonite is another, right? So you'll usually have 1 or 2, but that's like more powerful than like the legendary trios, right? It'll be more powerful than like I think not Lugia or Hau, but like any of the legendary like Entei, Sosawin, all of those like legendary trio types, higher base stats than all of those. So like. Any this is I don't know if niggas don't know this or not, but if you're playing a Pokemon game and you want to basically cheat into having a legendary that's not really a legendary, usually the highest ranking dragon in that game is going to be pound for pound more powerful than most of the legendaries, except for the one that's like on the fucking cover of the box. Right? Like niggas ain't more powerful than goddamn Mewtwo, but nobody is.
Right.
So anyways, bro, so ghost typing, right? So no physical damage can hurt him. Just stupid fast, can outspeed almost anybody except unless you built the Pokemon specifically for it. Hits like an absolute truck. You can't really. It's hard to beat that motherfucker, bro. Shout out to Dragapult. That's
boom.
That's my top 6. We got Tyranitar, Greninja, Cinderace, Togekiss, Dragapult, and Mimikyu.
Oh, that's a nasty lineup. All right, man. Let's go. Starting with my, okay, before I get into mine, real quick, just super quick here. What are 2 that didn't make your list but could make it on like any day? Just 2 extras that you could bring off the bench.
Metagross.
Okay. Psychic
Steel type. The only Psychic Steel type, I think.
Looks sweet, too.
One of the coldest designs ever.
Yeah.
He has for a long time been one of my favorite Pokemon.
He looks really dope.
Gyarados, I love, man, but Gyarados has he's got the same thing with Charizard, bro. I hate the fact that Charizard is not really viable unless you got like a Belizard in competitive play because he's so weak to rock. He's like any decent rock type would take him out. Okay, I got it. So instead of Gyarados or Charizard, I would say Volcarona, which is a bug psychic type.
Okay.
Probably one of the best bug types in the game in terms of base, like stupid high special attack. Like it's like base special attack is like 120 or 150, which means that if you max it out, we're talking 300-400 in terms of how high it gets. Really nice typing. Got those tricky ass bug moves like Quiver Dance, which is essentially the bug's version of Sword Dance, so it can knock the special attack even higher. Hit him with a flamethrower, rolling through your whole squad.
Right. Boom.
So yeah,
I like it. All right, let's go. Coming in at my number 6 to kind of start my list off. My number 6 is. So first of all, I don't really go with a bulky guy. I'm here I just got a good understanding of types, advantages, and we just outspeed and kind of got some annoying gimmicks on my, you know what I'm saying, on my squad. So starting it off at number 6, my guy Zoroark, and Zoroark is he's usually this is gonna be my top special attacker, dark type, really, really, really powerful. This is another one. This is like how you were just kind of saying. This is a non-legendary Pokemon whose special attack can get up there in those like low 400s, like super powerful special attack. And he's dark type, which is one of my favorite types. Dark gives you a lot of coverage. He can learn dark moves, ghost moves, flamethrower. You know what I'm saying? So Zoroark, and he's got decent speed. He's got good enough speed to outspeed some of the average ones. So Zoroark is my number 6.
Strong.
Also really dope. If you're not familiar, he has an ability called Illusion, where he will start the battle off as disguised as another Pokemon on your squad. And if you have a nickname for him, you know, you're battling and they don't know. They might think it's another one. You know what I'm saying? So that's really dope about him too. And his design is also fire. My number 5 is gonna be my speed demon, Selgor. Selgor's speed is ridiculous. I think in terms of the regular Pokemon, I think he might be the fastest one in the game. Now, he cannot take a hit. So what I do is he has good special attack. And so the strategy I use with the Selgor is he's so fast. So I always use Substitute first, right? Substitute is an awesome move. It's where they
base speed is 145.
Yes, bro.
Holy cow.
So his max speed ends up being like 440 or something crazy like that. 450. It's in the 4s, I know for sure. But the strategy I use with him is I do Substitute, right? Throw out the little dummy. Dummy takes an attack. Then if the Substitute doesn't die, I'll do Acid Spray, right? And Acid Spray harshly lowers the other Pokemon's special attack defense. Then I might throw out another Substitute. Then I'll let him kill the Substitute, come back, either Bug Buzz or Hyper Beam, dead. You know what I'm saying? He's my speed demon. And then I use leftovers too as his item. So because using Substitute takes away a little bit of health, but you get it back if you use leftovers a couple times. Coming in at number 4, I got my Dragon Killer, Weavile. I love Weavile, Dark and Ice. Usually he's got great coverage. He's a Dragon Killer. He hits like a truck, his attack. And he's also pretty fast too, so he'll outspeed a lot of the average Pokemon in the game. Great typing with the Dark and Ice. Also can learn I usually teach him Iron Tail to give him that steel move. And then I usually give him a choice band so he can be even faster. You know what I'm saying?
With what move are you giving up though, or what move are you committing to?
I will usually commit to an ice move if there's a dragon, and then I'll just pull him out. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll just face the fact that I got to sacrifice somebody because he's important enough to, you know what I mean? He's important enough to get him out and keep him, and just kind of throw somebody else in there and sacrifice him to keep him alive. Then my number 3 is one of my all-time favorites. Is Blaziken, and Blaziken obviously fire type fighting. Blaziken also can learn Stone Edge. You know what I'm saying? I usually teach him a rock or a ground move, and then also Blaziken has one of the sweetest abilities in the game too with Speed Boost. Every turn, his Blaziken's speed goes up. So what I always do is I throw Blaziken in, I do Detect, which blocks their first attack. That's one turn and speed goes up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then if I have a type advantage, I might be able to get a one hit kill. His speed goes up again. If Blaziken can last 2 turns, you can pretty much outspeed everybody.
Not catching him.
Yeah. So that's Blaziken. Then my number 2 is my greatest laboratory experiment ever, and that's gonna be Hitmontop. My Hitmontop is crazy. He's super great on great defensive, so he can take a couple hits. He won't get killed in one hit. He's got 2 priority moves with great coverage. He's got Mach Punch and Bullet Punch, So you got the Steel type and you got Mach Punch. He's got the Black Belt as an item, so his martial arts moves are even more powerful. So he's got high jump kick too. This move set is ridiculous. That takes ton of egg.
At least 2 generations.
Bruh, egg breeding like crazy.
Yeah.
He's got high jump kick, Mach Punch, and Bullet Punch. That's 3, bro. That's 3 generations of breeding. And then he's got triple axle, which gives him ice coverage for some dragons. And his ability is Technician. So his weaker moves are even more powerful. So if you have a move that attacks multiple times, it's more powerful each hit.
That's fire.
So you do triple axle. The first one is like, then the second one's like, oh. And then the third one is and the third one is dead. So my Hitmontop is fire. So that's my number 2. But my number 1, you guys know number 1. It's Greninja.
Of course.
Dark and water. I use him as he's not even in Pokemon Sword, but I always use Greninja as he's my spike setter. You know what I'm saying? I do
set him up.
Set the spikes. He's got crazy speed. He'll outspeed a lot of Pokemon. He's also got that ability that we were talking about with Cinderace, where whatever type move he does, he becomes that type, which is also amazing. And then he's just got the speed. He's a spike setter. He's got that ability, and he's got strong special attack, man. So with that, can't beat it, man. So that's mine. That's my squad right there. Number 6, Zoroark. Number 5, Aselgor. Number 4, Weavile. Number 3, Blaziken. Number 2, Hitmontop. And number 1, my guy, Greninja.
Let's go. And
if I had to pick 2 that would be coming off the bench for me, definitely it's a 2 that I like to pair up. So it'd be Tyranitar and Excadrill. And what I like to do with them is have Tyranitar come in, bring the Sandstorm. Excadrill has an ability called Sand Rush, where his speed gets crazy in a sandstorm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
So those 2 are one of my like tag teams that I like to have on teams all the time. Then another one that I usually have in there is Mienshao. So that's my squad right there, man.
Boom.
Boom.
I don't know why the soundboard's not but
it's all good. Hey, man, episode 74 in the books. Still celebrating Pokemon 25th year anniversary. Again, I'll post the Discord link again. I posted on Twitter. I'll post it again. If you guys just DM me, I will answer you. I'll send it to you so you can be a part of this, that really dope, fun, positive community.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, man. And again, like I always say, there is new music coming. There's new music done. It's just a matter of releasing it. So
hopefully soon,
man. And Hero's got some stuff coming too, man. So boom, episode 74. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back, Hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.